Hello everybody, it's June 17th, 2022. Let's jump into Bitcoin and take a look at what I said on Monday. First, I had said, the last video was further downside expected. That's when, we were up near 30K, and that was extremely appropriate. I went over in that previous video why I believe we are at a macro bottom. This is likely a macro bottom right now where we are. That doesn't mean, this exact price. It doesn't mean we've struck bottom exactly at this point in time. It means bottom is imminent. Bottom is very, very likely quite soon. So I was just writing up the micro. If you haven't seen it, go back and watch this video from Monday. I go over the multiple reasons I believe the bottom actually is in. So go ahead and make sure you watch that, because I do go over some important macro indicators there. In the micro, I said, I'm just kind of continuing to extend a fib down just in case the third wave hadn't ended, and we still have a 4 and a 5, one more lower low basically to go. The danger zone at that point in time was right here, 22.7 to 24.4, and if we reject from there, we can see about 17.7 to 18.8. A break above 25.6 and 5 waves would indicate that the bottom has actually been struck. All right, so let's go ahead and take a look at where we were then and where we are now. That was the 13th, which was basically right here. This green box was the original target that I had for the fifth wave down, but because of how deep and extended this got, it really kind of looks more like a third wave. That's why I kept kind of dragging that fib down and saying, this is the danger zone. So we did strike that area. Like I said, we struck that. After that Monday, when I made the video, we came back up into the danger zone right there and rejected downwards from it. We did not do it impulsively though. We did it in 3 waves, and so that counts best as an X wave that went a little bit lower. And then we had an ABC up, like so. So still just doing corrective action. And now we really haven't seen anything that I can call an impulse. I suppose maybe this could be the start of the next wave down, but it's pretty unclear at this point. So there are 2 scenarios. Either we have W, X, and we need a Y up here, so we get a big expanded flat correction, and this Y wave is going to be an A, B, and C, like so, meaning we can go back up into this danger zone, and this can all still be part of the 4th wave, and then we go down to a lower low right here, about 17.7 to 18.8, 18.9, somewhere in that region. Or we may have already started the next wave down to end here. Like I said, this could be a 5-wave move. Let me go down to the 5-minute and just see. I really don't think I could see anything quite clear enough on here to make me happy. There's really not like, if this was a more clear like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, then I could say that's a 5-wave move, but I really don't see this like second wave happening here. And so it looks to me more like A, B, C. I can be wrong about that. It's not very clear, but it does look more like a 3-wave than a 5-wave. And the action since then has kind of supported that, because we've really just chopped around. And if that was the 3rd wave in an impulse, we would have expected it to tank down a bit quicker. Now, maybe I'm wrong about that. We'll see. In any case, though, we are just sort of stuck in limbo until this level breaks, like below 20,000, 20,100, give or take. If we break that, we should probably begin pressing down to this area here. But alternately, if we stay above that, like I said, we can revisit this area. And I'm viewing that area as a pretty decent place to short as a hedge with a stop above this 25.6 resistance zone, which is the 0.5 fib of this third wave. So that's kind of how I'm playing this. If it breaks down more immediately, that's fine. I'll just get rid of the shorts that I have set in this area, and I'm picking up more spot buys down here. So that's how I'm playing it. Obviously, everybody has to make their own plan and be happy with that plan, but that's what I'm planning on doing. So the alternative is, like I said, I don't think this is an impulse down, but it might be making a diagonal down, and that's what I have in the red here and this purple diagonal. Something that looks, more like that, or it could be a wedge. It doesn't necessarily need to be a parallel channel. We could see a wedge happen, which would actually be pretty typical of Bitcoin here. So basically what that would look like is, here's our ABC down in 1, here's our ABC up in 2, this is probably A and B of 3, and then we're working on a C of 3 down somewhere, and then we'd get an ABC up in a 4 and an ABC down in a 5, making sort of a diagonal pattern of all 3-wave moves. That is what I'm viewing right now as an alternative, and we don't actually know where this channel is going to go until we get this next wave down, because we need to know where the third is in order to put that channel on. But it might look something along those lines, or like I said, it could do a wedge. Sometimes those ending diagonals form as a wedge instead of a parallel channel, so that is a possibility as well. If this was going to be an ABC down, the expectation would be somewhere in the 618 to 1236 region, so that's like anywhere in here. Realistically, let's just draw a box there just so I remember where that is. So there's the box, potentially for the C wave of the third wave, if that is what it's doing. And then this is 1 and 2. Ideally, the third wave would go at least to the 1.0 extension, and more likely a little bit beyond that. So there we have some confluence there. That's kind of likely for a third wave in a diagonal. So there you go, you got confluence. Really anywhere in this box, to be perfectly honest. So I'm just going to leave that one green box on there. So that's what I'm viewing as most likely for this third wave, if that is what it's doing downwards. Trying to move this. Here we go. So once that gets in place, if it does in fact do that, then it'll likely do something like this. There's our third, fourth, and fifth, and yeah, we can be down in the 17K area if that plays out. So that scenario, possible scenario there for the more immediate bearish resolution is doing a diagonal downwards. I don't really see this being an impulse down anymore, which is good news. It shows the bears are weakening. Or alternatively, we get this expanded correction upwards, get somewhere into this region, and then drop down into that region. That would be fine too. And we can track the micro impulse potentially off of that high whenever that gets struck. And then the least likely scenario at this point is that we've actually hit the bottom. I say it's least likely because we do not have any clear action off of this low right now. There's no impulse happening. This maybe could have been, but then it failed. So, I'm saying that's least likely until we break this level. Once we break that level, if we start going back up in an impulse, I'm going to pay attention. But until that time, anything that happens kind of in this area is most likely chop. But if somehow this actually got above that key level of 25.6 in 5 waves, then I can say the bottom's already in. but I do believe that is unlikely at this time. I think we're in for a lower low, somewhere below this. I don't know exactly where that's going to go. The ideal region would be here, but it really could truncate at any time and start going up. Because on the macro level, this is looking very, very much like a macro bottom. Excellent time to buy. You know, as far as like weekly charts go, this is the time to be buying it for the next major bull run. That doesn't mean it's going up immediately, but this could be potentially like buying, you know, the $3,000 bottom during the COVID crash, right before it, you know, started going up over the coming months to new highs. So I think that's what we're looking at right now. It's an opportunity to buy for the coming months, or, you know, year, or potentially more. We'll see how long this correction takes to play out, but we really should be near the end of this, you know, based on Elliott wave theory anyway. We should be near the end of this correction as soon as we get down into these areas here, if we are going to go lower. All right, I think that sums up everything. Like I said, I explained a bit more the macro picture in the previous video, so I'm going to go ahead and put this at the end here. Right here in the suggested video is Monday's video, so if you haven't seen that, make sure you take a look at it. And then go ahead and hit the subscribe button for me. And the like button on the video helps me out a lot. And I'll keep the content coming every Monday and Friday for you, so we can keep tracking the Bitcoin action. All right, good night, everybody.